So we got some news today. Ty Larson has been put on IR, and we have Carson Wentz back off of IR. What does it mean for Taylor Heinicke? What does it mean for the team? Is it something meaningless or something, a hidden meaning to it? Let's find today's video. What an intro. Yo, what's up with y'all, man? Welcome back to the Protest Sports Network. It's your boy Tone. I'm back on the video. If I get AGT, go to God. I got to right now, guys. I'm going to do it for all I got you need per man. Today's video got some news, man. Tyler Larson, Washington Commanders center, has been put on IR. His season is over effectively. I think he's going to get surgery on his knee or something like that. I think his season's over with. I told you guys after the game when we played the Giants that his season's done. Lo and behold, your boy Protect was right. He's done. Done data. I pray for a speedy recovery for Tyler Larson. I was never see it in the injury for bro. It kind of sucks that both our centers, both our starting and backup centers consistently get hurt. It kind of does suck. But that means now Nick Martin will be inserted as probably the starting center unless they want to play Wes Schweitzer. We'll figure that out as time gets along as we get closer to the big matchup in Week 15 versus the New York Giants. Now, the big news is now Carson Wentz, former starting quarterback, now backup quarterback Taylor Heinicke, has been activated off of IR. So, what does it mean for Carson? What does it mean for Taylor? What does it mean for this offense and this team? Let's start with Carson. Carson's back. That means he'll have some reps. He'll show what he can do, and he's the primary backup behind Taylor. Taylor right now is a starter because the team is winning games. They are currently 5-1-1 with him as the starting quarterback, with him being undefeated versus teams under 500 and 1-1-1 versus teams that are above 500. Taylor Heinicke gives some stability at the quarterback position. They've been able to run the ball. Taylor Heinicke has been clutch at times with some clutch drives, especially the game-winning drive versus the Colts. Also the game-winning drive versus the game-sealing drive, I want to say, versus the Green Bay Packers. Also had a really good moment in the Eagles game as well to end that game. And finally, he had a game-tying drive within 3 minutes of the fourth quarter versus the New York Giants to send the game to overtime. Now, he's had some bad moments. The Texans game was not good. He did not play well in Houston. Also, he didn't play particularly well versus Minnesota. He was not good in the Atlanta game. He's had struggles. He's had struggles even in victory. He's had struggles as well as his one loss versus the Minnesota Vikings. Now, what does it mean for TH? What does it mean for Carson? So, like I said, for Carson, it means he'll get some reps. He'll show what he can do. And I think if Ron sees the difference in Taylor Heinicke and Carson Wentz and thinks that Carson Wentz is the better guy for the job, eventually Carson Wentz will be reinserted as the starting quarterback. Or if Taylor Heinicke struggles. What does it mean for Taylor Heinicke? Now there's a legit threat behind you, I think, because he hasn't played great football. Let's call it what it is. He's had solid moments. Like I said, he had a really good game last week versus the Giants at times. He started like game busters. He had a great last drive of the game, or last drive of the fourth quarter, or second to last drive, game-tying drive. Let's just say game-tying drive for Taylor Heinicke in the fourth quarter. But with the play calling, a lot of times in clutch situations, they're taking the ball out of Taylor Heinicke's hands and running the ball. If you notice on 3rd and 10, they ran a draw play instead of trying to get the ball to Terry. The 3rd and 4th play in the overtime period, they try to throw a screen to Curtis Samuel when the screen game wasn't working at all. So I do think it's the play caller's fault that sometimes the offense isn't rolling, whether it is Taylor Heinicke or Carson Wentz, but also Taylor Heinicke has not looked great in the pocket. They kind of kept him in the pocket, kind of, not really like rush him, try to sack him per se, but they're containing him in the pocket. And then the offensive line hasn't been horrible until last week. They were horrible versus the Giants. They were absolutely goodness gracious awful in week 13, allowing 5 sacks and like 8 or 9 hits. So it was kind of bad. It's kind of bad. Cam Thibodeau went unblocked at one point by Charles Leno. Lucas was getting spanked a little bit. It was bad. It was bad. We'll call it what it is. It was bad. It was bad. So that was the struggles in the Giants game. At times, he had the turnover, all that type of stuff. Also, in the Minnesota game, he threw the pick that kind of eventually sealed our fate, which wasn't great. I know people want to blame John Widgeway with the penalty, but Heinicke's pick really killed the game. It killed all momentum. It killed any chance of us winning that game. The Colts game, he does throw a fourth quarter interception, which is something he needs to kind of clean up. Also, another thing, I don't mean to ramble, but I'm going to get to the meaning of it in a second. The other games he's thrown fourth quarter interceptions in. The Eagles game, got away with it. I think Ron is not really trusting Taylor Heinicke. If you noticed, before week 13, his pass attempts per game were dropping every week. They're taking the ball out of his hands more and more and more and more. So I think the leash on Taylor Heinicke has gotten shorter. It kind of to explain what that means. I want to give you guys a really, really deep explanation for what it means for Taylor Heinicke before I said that. I don't want to just say it's a short leash. In fact, I'm giving you an explanation. So that's the explanation. They're taking the ball out of his hands more. And in critical situations in that Giants game, they did not let him beat a passer. Instead, they ran the ball. They played conservative. They called conservative plays. They weren't playing to win. That's telling me something. So that's that. What does this mean for the offense? That means that they have a guy behind Taylor, knock on wood if he gets hurt, or if Taylor Heinicke isn't performing as well as he should, they can pull him now. That's what it means for the offense. It means that we might see Carson Wentz again. And do not be shocked if we see Carson again. And what does this mean for Scott Turner? Keep the same game plan, Scott. If Carson gets back in this game and plays, gets back into a ball game and plays, keep the same philosophy, Scott. Do not go to pass happy stuff. Do not try to get pass happy because you had a big arm quarterback in the game. Learn from your mistakes. This is why Carson actually turned the ball over 7 times while he was a starter. Because you put the ball in Carson's hands too much. Reel him in a little bit. If he comes back in the game at all. But I actually expect to see Carson again. Won't be this week, though. Hell no. We're going to beat the Giants. I'm kind of confident in that. That 49ers game, I think, is Taylor Heinicke's last start. That 49ers defense is very ferocious. They're going to be a problem. They're going to be a problem. And I don't know if Taylor Heinicke can handle that kind of heat. He responded well in the Giants game, which I applaud him for. It's a different type of animal. The Giants pass rush doesn't have a pass rush like Nick Bosa. And Wade Charles Leno played in week 13. I am very concerned for whoever's quarterbacking that week 16 game, which I'm assuming is Taylor Heinicke. I am concerned for Taylor Heinicke. That's what it means for this offense. So, I mean, if he go out there and sack him 7-8 times, he throws 2 or 3 picks, I think the Browns came to going back to Carson. I think they want to go back to Carson deep inside, but they know that Taylor's winning games. But they want a higher offensive ceiling. And only you're going to get that with a bigger arm and much more down the field throwing, what you get with Carson. You get the immobility. You do get the lack of pocket awareness from Carson Wentz, but you get a higher ceiling. As for Taylor Heinicke, you get a much higher floor, but much lower ceiling. Right now, I think they're looking for the higher floor because the higher floor is getting the job done. Now, if Taylor struggles anymore, I do expect him to get pulled. So that's my thoughts. What are your thoughts on the whole quarterback situation? Is there a short leash on Taylor Heinicke? Do you think that Taylor has the longest leash in the world because they're winning ball games? Or do you look at it, okay, we're winning in spite of Taylor. He has to play better. I think Taylor hasn't bring his A game. Taylor Heinicke, bring your A game, bro. So I want to see it. I want to see Atlanta Falcons Taylor Heinicke from last year. I want to see Carolina Panthers Taylor Heinicke from last year. I want to see Tampa Bay Buccaneers version of Taylor Heinicke from last year. I want to see that Taylor Heinicke. Show me that guy. Because the guy I saw before the Giants game, I couldn't recognize him. So show me that guy. So bring that guy back. That Taylor Heinicke, I like that Taylor Heinicke. This one I'm not very fond of. So that's going to do it for me. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Like, comment, subscribe to the channel. Comment your thoughts down in the comment section down below. Also, go follow my man WSH on the daily on Instagram, and also subscribe to my sponsee Ballin and Burgundy podcast. I appreciate you guys for watching this video. Guys, be easy, be safe, and stay blessed. And most importantly, stay blessed. Most importantly, but also do not forget, you'll always be the most. Oh, if you're not the most athletic and talented for a choice on professional off the field, technically sound, you will always overcome like a talent lesson through hard work and dedication, man. Protect fans from always have a good one, guys. Let me know in the comment section down below. Let me know how you feel about my analysis on Taylor Heinicke and my thoughts on him. And I think as long as we're winning games, Taylor stays a starter. But the moment he has another stumble, I think they're going to reinsert Carson Wentz back in. But until then, have a great one. Peace.